So, hello, Michelle. Great to have you uh, here again on the podcast. Fresh from your win at the Hanmer Backyard Ultra, 29 laps. How many Ks was it? 100 and...
194 and a bit.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations. It's only been it's 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks
Yeah,
since that, eh?
just 2 weeks.
And you're already running. You're back into it.
I'm so grateful. Yeah, I feel great. The body recovered really, really well from this one.
It's quite amazing, eh?
It's a yeah, I'm so grateful.
Yeah, because even I remember the week you're going into the event, or no, I think the day, Friday or the Thursday, you're like, oh, I'm definitely going to have a cold next week.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
was messaging you as we were driving up. That's
yeah.
right. And I said I feel
And then
like I've
on
got a
and then
sore
on
throat and
like
I was
Monday or whenever when
congested
you
and I said it's okay,
resurfaced.
it's not going to affect me. I'm still going to get through this
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
but I'm sure next week I'm going to come down with something. And yeah, no, yeah, touch wood, right? I haven't come down with anything and
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
body like no
Touch that wood.
pains and niggles. Um
Yeah.
yeah. I
And
went
then
to
on
work. I mean, yeah,
Monday,
Monday
you're
night.
like, oh yeah, I think I'm going to have such and such this week. And then no, you didn't. You're just
I
good. And now it's
know.
like 2 weeks on, and you just did a 90-minute run on the weekend in the Hinuas.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, no, the body's done really well. I got back like midnight Monday night, and Sarah and I did, and then I worked first thing Tuesday morning. Pretty full on week, like 45 hours or something. I didn't train. I gave myself 10 days off. We just kept it chill, but slept in and ate and just recovered. I thought I could do run club that Wednesday, but I thought the smart thing was to not. So I didn't run until Wednesday week after God
That's
was
pretty
off.
smart, eh?
I think it was smart. Yeah. and
Yeah,
I don't
just
think
some
anybody
walks and stuff.
was. Yeah, yeah. Walk the dog and
Yeah,
just,
all that
yeah.
nice stuff.
And I'm on my feet all day at work anyway. So I'm getting movement in my life. So I think that's really important.
Yeah, just for me, just that what you said before. Got back at midnight on Monday and went to work on Tuesday morning after doing what you did in the weekend. That just blows my mind. That sort of stuff. I'm thinking about my river run. I'm going to have my first crack at a backyard river run ultra in a couple of months, and I'm going, man, I think I'm going to need half the week off afterwards,
Yeah.
this kind of thing, but
And you
it's
just
so
don't know
cool.
what the body's gonna do. Like I do remember I was messaging the gal from Hive Energy while I was down in Christchurch, and we were joking about stuff, and then I was like, I'm not sure how it's gonna be at work. I think because this was the day after the race, and right then my right ankle was a little bit like I was aware of it. It didn't like to do like circles and stuff. It was tight, and I was concerned. And then I said, it's going to be interesting standing up and sitting down, like helping people put shoes on and running to the stock room and all that. And so my brain was almost programmed to think I was going to I was going to be a little bit sore, but then it just didn't happen. So, grateful for that.
Yeah, amazing, eh? So cool. So cool.
Yeah. Super cool.
Um, so yeah, tell us about the story of your event weekend. So yeah, Hamner Backyard Ultra, South Island, middle of winter or late winter, and for more context as well. For the listener, it was a particularly shit weekend weather-wise, freezing cold, minus fours, I think, and
Yeah.
sleet, snow, you name it, rain. So that
Vicious.
sort of
Like,
sets the stage for you. Tell us about it.
yeah, so my friend Alex, he and Cara have a place in Hamner, and so he had said like, "Hey, this event is happening. It's the inaugural one in Hamner. Like, he wants to go support it. He wants to come." And then it just planted the seed, but we didn't really jump on it until I think it was about 8 weeks earlier. Sarah came into the shop one day and and she was getting some shoes, and she's like, "Hey, we should do this Hamner thing." And I was like, "Yeah, let's." And so I was like, I'm sure Chris will think it's a good idea. Let me just message him and see, because my goal was Blue Lake. I wanted to do the miler at Blue Lake, and so I was like, we could just make it 100K. Like, I'm sure that'd be a good training one, 6 weeks out or something from Blue Lake. So she was like, "Yeah." So then we messaged you, and then by the time she paid for her shoes, she was like, "Has he replied back? Like, let's book it." She'd already looked into tickets and everything. And so then, yeah, so we decided to give it a go. And, yeah, and I don't really love the cold. Like, okay, I love
Yes.
the snow and stuff, but my body gets really, really, really cold, in the cold, and it's not
Mhm.
my happy place. And so I said,
Mm.
it will be really good to put myself in my least favorite environment and see, show myself what I'm made of. Like, I want to push myself and show
Absolutely.
myself, like, I'm not going to die. I may be uncomfortable, but it'll be really good to super challenge myself. And so that's what the universe gave us. Because, yeah, like 4 degrees was the high. Um, it was the highest temperature all weekend. So, yeah, freezing, just absolutely freezing. And like you said, hail, sleet, the
Yeah.
first lap
Wind chill.
snowing. Oh, it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. And I wore so many layers. Um, yeah, I had on like 6 layers on top, 3 on the bottom, 3 pair of gloves or mittens with like plastic bags over them,
It's
waterproof
been like an
upper.
extra couple of kilos of like weight of just all your clothing and stuff
I
that you
bet.
would have been running around in, you know?
Yeah, I had a lot of gear. I had so much gear on, but I knew that I had to preserve myself because I knew I wanted to go long. And if I got cold, then I'd be done. So yeah,
That's
I
a lot of
just,
energy, eh? That's what I remember messaging Sarah about during yeah, the body spends a lot of energy trying to keep itself warm, right? If it gets cold, like once you're cold kind
yeah.
of thing, eh?
Yeah, and you guys had some really good tips for me. Like, that was like, I don't know if it was middle of the night or was it, no, it would have been the next morning. Yeah, that next morning. Yeah, it's starting to get quite cold. And yeah, you guys were golden with the some of that advice. So very, very grateful for that. Yeah.
Nice. And so the field was pretty like I remember following along on the first. There's a number of people got to 100 k's, eh? Do you remember that?
Yeah. It was a really, I mean,
It was a deep field. I got to 100
those
k's.
South Island people, man, they are hardy. Like, I couldn't imagine a race with those temperatures and that weather happening in Auckland and having the turnout like they had down there. Um, it was
Yes.
seriously impressive. And they
Yeah,
went
yeah.
long, and it was
Yeah, there
brutal.
was a
Some
big
people were
crew.
running in shorts.
Oh man, that's crazy. And there was a big crew that got to 100 k's, and then it sort of started to drop off after that. Eh? I think I remember there was a big sort of drop off at 100 k's, and with maybe I think there might have been 19, then down to 12 or something. Is that about sound
Yeah.
about right?
I think Bradley, on Trail Running, New Zealand said, I think he called it the Midnight Massacre. Like, once everyone hit that big, the big number, just, already been a long, cold, very cold day. And nightfall is, I think it's 14 hours of darkness there. I mean, it's dark
Oh yeah,
early and it's not light
that's right.
till pretty late. So, you know, once that hits, like, you're in it for a pretty long haul. Um,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
a lot of darkness, eh?
it's a lot of darkness. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, amazing. So yeah, like what was it like during the night? How were you like during the night? What was your state? How were you and the crew? All that stuff.
Oh
Like,
man,
and I guess it
I
was
feel
starting to thin out during the night. Must have been like, do you remember how many there was sort of in the wee at like 3, 4 in the morning? How many was in the? How many
no,
runners left?
I don't know. I know this seems so crazy, but I don't really pay attention to like the numbers.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
like,
true.
even like it was quite a few hours later and someone talked about someone else who had, they had finished, and I was like, "Oh wow, I didn't even, like, I didn't, it's not that I'm not paying attention to everybody else, but I know I know I do have a tendency sometimes to pay attention to too many things that may not matter when I'm racing, and so I try real hard to just get in my zone in something like that and just do the lap and just do the lap. So I'm not
That's
really
a good tip.
sure.
That is a
And then
very
I
good tip
also
for
I
anyone
got to the
listening.
start line. I get to the start line like seconds to spare every lap. And so it wasn't like I was in the back of the corral counting. Like I would just literally race to the start line with like four, maybe 10 seconds to spare every time. And so I would just jump right towards the front. And so I wasn't really counting heads or anything.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. That's a
yeah,
good strategy. That's a good strategy, right?
it worked for me, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I know in the past
That,
I've spent a lot of time like talking to lots of people and socializing and then fluttering around once I get back to the tent, going to say hi to people and engage. And because that part brings me a lot of joy. But, when you're there for a backyard and you want to go long, I need to conserve my energy and take that time to just do whatever I need to, if it's decompress or
yeah,
do jobs.
yeah. It's balancing that sort of stuff out, isn't it? Because on one hand, engaging with people gives you energy,
Mm-hmm.
but on another hand, it can take as well, isn't it? Depending on the timing, I guess.
It's
Or
such a balance. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And just listening, I guess, to what your body needs. But yeah, I remember even at Riverhead last year and a half or whatever, Sarah was also there helping me. And she knew I would have just chatted too much. So she would just literally come and collect me at the finish line and she would just take me straight to my chair and then plop me down so that I wasn't distracted. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, my crew were epic. Yeah, Sarah was there, Sheila was there, um, Alex's wife Caro came by. They don't live too far, so she would just like bring grilled cheese sandwiches on a plate wrapped in tinfoil, like so
Nice.
sweet and wholesome. Yeah, she would just pop stuff around. Yeah, and then Alex even helped out after he smashed his PB. So I had like
Yeah, he had
so
an
much.
awesome run too. That sort of got
He had
lost in your epic run. Alex
a,
also had an epic run.
Alex had an epic run and he didn't have the best lead up going into it. So I am so stoked that I'm so stoked for him. He beat his Riverhead PB and in those conditions is just mean. Like I think those conditions it's like how in life there's like life and then there's like dog years, like regular years and then dog years, and a dog year is equal to like
Yeah,
7 regular human ones. I think the Hamner backyard has got like this next level of time in it, just because of those conditions. It's next level.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, for
yeah.
someone from Auckland, right? Those guys are probably laughing if they'll listen to this. They'll be like, "Wow, this is just that was a spring day." I don't know.
Auckland girl came down to do a yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but to me, that was like, I mean, it may as well have been Antarctica.
I think that's what sort of makes your one even more impressive for me, like as well. Like knowing, yeah, not from that sort of climate, and it's definitely not your forte. You're sort of more of a heat runner, eh? You like really enjoy the summer running in the heat, that kind of thing. That's kind of your bread and butter, eh? Not definitely
I
not the cold.
I adore the heat running. Yeah, like just the crop top and shorts. My hands, I've got like, I don't know, undiagnosed Raynaud's, but so my hands are cold even in summer when I'm racing. Like I'll even probably wear a pair of gloves even in Auckland or spring or maybe, like a side season. But
Yeah,
yeah, so like I love the heat. So for me to do that was big big deal. And I remember
yeah,
my younger daughter, Naomi, when back I lived in America and I went to this gym. Sometimes I'd train there and they did these really hard classes. And some days I'd be like nervous about going in. And she must have been like 6 at the time. She's like, "Mom, are there dead bodies outside the class?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Well, you're not going to die. Just do it." And so that's kind of like what I took with me, here. Like, I'm not really going to get hypothermic. I'm just maybe going to be uncomfortable and it will make me a stronger person. So
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
glad it
yeah.
all worked out.
Just put more layers on.
That's it, man, right? Like, what is that saying? I think, was it you? Like, there's no such thing as bad weather. It's just poor
Wrong
clothing
clothes.
choices. Yeah.
Yeah. No such thing
And
as
I
bad
packed
weather,
a
just
lot.
wrong clothes. Yeah.
Yeah. I had so many layers. I
Oh my
had
God. And the
suitcases.
photos of
Yeah.
you, the the photos of you in the crew tent, in your tent in between laps, and you just had you could barely see Michelle, You're just
Yeah.
covered in blankets and stuff, and Sheila's like standing there holding the heater.
Far
Just
out.
a,
I know, and that's the stuff you kind of miss when you're running because you're just doing your thing and they're like treating you like they're taking care of you like you're a baby. But when I went back
yes,
and not in a bad way, like every need, like I went back and looked at those pictures, they're literally holding a heater up so that I get
yes,
the best angle for the heat. Like it, I
yeah,
mean, what people do as crew is just it it just blows my mind like how generous somebody can be with all of their energy and all of their time for you to reach a goal. It's so
yeah.
selfless. Um,
It's a very I guess this probably gets talked about in other backyard podcasts as well. But it's a very intimate thing, isn't it? Like the crewing and runner experience or relationship, teamwork in the backyard ultra. It's a very like intimate
far out,
um,
yeah. Because
kind
they
of
see
journey,
you in
eh?
you can be
Special,
in
special journey.
your
Yeah.
deepest, darkest time, and they have to have a really good understanding of you because they have to know what makes you tick. Like, are you
Mm.
someone who kind of wants like positive encouragement, or do you like kind of like to be barked at, or like, and then what do you like to eat? And then what if you're not even capable of saying what you really want? Like, maybe they need to know you enough to know, like, hey, let's just switch out and try this, or like let's just hand her this. And these guys were just they were absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think crewing in those conditions would have been, I mean, I think as hard or harder than actually running it because at least I had my body momentum, my blood circulating while I'm running the laps. They were just either standing or sitting. Okay, maybe walking around the village a little bit, but the weather wasn't ideal for browsing. Um, in
Yeah. Go hang out.
freezing, yeah, it wasn't like you're just gonna go sit and shoot the breeze. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
literally freezing cold, and
Yes.
oh man, brutal. And like Sarah to offer to do that for me was just so generous, and she's been such a good supporter of mine. And then Sheila, I had never even met Sheila in person. I hadn't even followed her on Strava. I hadn't followed her on Instagram. All I know is we knew each other through the group. I knew of her, and after she did,
Yeah.
after she won her miler, but
Mm.
we didn't actually touch base physically until just like weeks before when and she offered to crew, hadn't even met me. Like, what human does that? She
That's
drove
pretty
all the
cool, eh?
way from Christchurch, and then she's like, "Yeah, I'll come from late afternoon Saturday all the way through till Sunday afternoon."
Yeah.
Just out of the kindness of her heart. Like, what an amazing community this trail running world, backyard world is. Like,
Yeah. It's awesome, eh?
it's really next level. Yeah.
I knew you
And then
guys would be a good match. So for our listeners, Sheila, I coach Sheila as well. So knowing Sheila and knowing you, I knew you guys would be awesome. Like, or having Sheila in your team for that weekend
yeah,
was
it
going to
was
be an
she was
awesome match for you.
Yeah, it was great. Her energy was great. Like they all were like cheering for me every lap, ringing the cowbell, cheering for everybody. Like it was just like, it gosh, I mean, they do everything. Like, and I know some of the other runners didn't really have crew. Maybe they had just supporters, which just supporters isn't a bad thing, but the fact that I had someone to like actually help me is I think it really makes a difference if you want to go long. Having people to help get you sorted in between laps is just priceless. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially in those conditions where you need to like strip off wet gear, put on new gear, you're already sticky, stuff just takes longer, time take things take longer. And then because everything was
yeah.
soaking wet every lap, you almost wanted to like hang stuff up to dry and switch into something else dry. So you had to deal with that like rotation, which
That's
on your
right.
own would have been quite taxing. You know,
Impossible.
mental energy and physical time.
Yeah, I remember seeing pictures of the again of your guys' setup and seeing the clothes and stuff hanging up,
Yeah.
the jackets, and then you're sort of swapping them out
Yeah,
each
it
time,
must
eh?
have looked like a dry cleaner, with all the
Yeah,
hangers
yeah,
hanging and there's coats and all the layers up there. Yeah, but then I also had cool stuff. Like I had my friend Sandrine and Courtney, they had printed up like a whole bunch of pictures from like
oh, that's great.
previous like Strava posts of like my friends and stuff, and then I had some mantras, and so we printed
That's right.
all the mantras, and then we got them laminated and had those all hanging around the tent as well. So as I'm
Mm.
gazing up at the whatever, I get to just see these really cool reminders, which I think are really helpful for the brain or for me. So that was really
That's cool.
good.
Yeah. So do you when you see like those mental cues and those mantras and stuff? Because I remember we talked about it in the lead up in the training and stuff. So when you actually see those in your tent in those moments, like, do you register? Like, what
Oh,
you're like? Oh yeah,
always. Yeah.
yeah.
Mantras are really big for me. Like even when I did my first ultra with you back at Topa, I had them written on my arm,
Oh yeah,
because that stuff like speaks to me. But I knew in Hamner, I wouldn't see any skin, so I couldn't write stuff on my arm. So what I did
yeah.
is I put them on my phone. Um, I had all my mantras written as like a screensaver on my phone and a picture of a fireplace because I knew that would help to keep me warm, like mentally. But
That's
because it
cool.
was so cold and I had mittens on and plastic bags, I wasn't actually taking my phone out like I thought I would have because my hands didn't, they weren't operating.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had all that stuff. I had them all written down because it works. That stuff really works. And we did training like that. So we chatted about like what are my whys and just
Mm.
ways that I can help t- to remain strong when I may become weak mentally, um, and want to give up. And
Having
that
those
was
reservations, before they happen, sort of thing.
it was really smart to plan about that because you kind of think about all the escape routes that your brain may want to take and all the excuses it's going to give you. And then if you've got an answer you've already rehearsed for why
Yes,
that answer isn't valid, then it's just factual.
you just close the
So
gate on it, eh?
far out, yeah, before someone like me who's an overthinker, I could have carried that thing with me all the way back to Auckland, but no, I'd just be like, nope, I already got that answer. I'd like just shut it down. So that was really powerful, and I resorted to those things a lot during the run, and I was so grateful for it.
That's awesome, eh?
Yeah, so yeah, well that was happening even the night, even at like 11 o'clock at night. People ask me all day long what was happening. And so I remember one guy, I even said back then, I go, man, and I knew he was having a slightly, it was a tough time for him. And I was like, wait till you get till sunrise. It's going to be amazing. So partly encouraging, but partly like, yeah, we still have a little bit of a way to go. Um,
Yes. Yeah,
so,
yeah. I'm here for the long haul.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This is, yeah, I'm not counting.
Yeah, because we didn't. What sort of goal did we put on your? We didn't really talk
2 days.
kilometers or distances or
No, you
laps
just
when
said be
we talked
prepared for
about it.
2 days, 2 nights, you said.
2 days, 2 nights. That was our
And
sort of
then
approach.
and then a big thing in the one of the questions is who are you at 3 a.m. on the second night when nobody's watching? And that was really good. Like
That's
that was
spine tingling.
really good because that planted the seed of, yeah, I'm running at 3 a.m. on the second night because that was a question you asked me. So it was like factual. So that took away any doubt in my mind that I wasn't capable of not doing that. I mean, besides whatever, when the shit hits the fan in a backyard or any race, like it can. But that was really good to have that prompt. Um, yeah. And then I remember even Simon saying when he was doing Dead Cow, I think someone was helping him write his plan
Oh,
out.
cool.
and they said, I don't know, maybe it wasn't dead cow, maybe it was his last one, maybe satellites, or I don't know, something. And he had planned for, say, 48 hours on his sheet, but they said, you may as well just put in the whole next day. You know what I mean? While you're at it, like just add the next 24 hours on top of it. And so in my mind, it was just
Yes.
like, yeah, when I started putting lines on my paper, which I never finished, I didn't just stop at like 36. I was like, okay, may as well just fill up the next few pages and then just see what happens. Like you have nothing left to lose. You have nothing to lose, right? But if you tell yourself you're not going to do something, then you're not going to do it. So you may as well just like aim high and trust the process.
Yeah, and that's sort of what we're seeing now, and I guess like thinking of you as well, like how far you advanced in your running journey in these last years, and what we're seeing with others in the backyard, like it gets to a point where it sort of doesn't become about the physical anymore, right? Because you can just sort of keep going.
Well, and it's like, and you look at what other people, and for me, it's like other people inspire me and motivate me. And it's like if I see someone else has done it, you're like far out. Like that's amazing. Like we have so much potential in us as human beings. And I used to kind of think that like other things were so far out of reach and that like ultra runners were superhuman. But now that I know some ultra runners who are amazing humans, they're superhuman in a like, they have really kind hearts and souls, but like they're just
Mm.
people. And man, if they can put the work in and get to an amazing place, well then shoot, I can too. And maybe not as amazing place as them, but like we have so much more inside us than we normally try to reach for. And so that's kind of how I look at it. Like, yeah, look, I can go longer and farther than I think I can. Like I just gotta just you don't know until you try. And you're certainly not gonna do it if you don't believe you can't do it. So I
Yeah,
think, yeah,
yeah,
you got to put the
yeah,
work in. You got to put the work in physically,
yeah,
mentally, but then you have to believe it. And, yeah, you have to
definitely,
believe.
eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes so much about the mental side, the backyard. From what I'm seeing, obviously, I'm not an experienced backyarder myself, only having
Soon
coached
come.
athletes to it. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's
I
what I'm
think
seeing.
I think you gain a heap of I think just literally being part of the backyard world, like um watching other people, coaching other people, like you guys crewed me at Riverhead when I did the 200. You've run
Mm,
some, not like super far, but like you've been part of it. I think just being
mm.
around it, like that whole osmosis, I really do think you can learn a heck of a lot by just watching the process and seeing what works. What works for people. I think you got way
Yeah, I
more
know I've
experience
got a
than
lot
just
out
that.
of from a coaching perspective. I've got a lot out of just being at the events and being there on the second day or third day or whatever.
Mhm.
You get a lot out of just seeing what's going on and seeing the runners, the top guys and girls and that and the crews. You just get
Yeah, like
a lot out of
what's
how they.
keeping them ticking along, and how are they doing it? Yeah, I think it's going to be you got way more experience. I think yeah, it's good. I mean, I was listening to some podcasts, well, like lots of podcasts before any backyard, and some people say like one gal she hadn't even run a backyard, but she listened to heaps of Pato's podcasts from Backyard Ultra, and she went out and smashed like 19 loops on her first one, and I think 30 on her second, and she credited heaps of it to just listening, taking notes, and practicing what has been working for other people, like seeing and obviously seeing what
Yeah,
works
just
for
getting
you.
all those little details right, eh? Those,
Yeah,
your kit and what you have and all that, all your
yeah,
logistics sort of stuff, your planning,
yeah, it's a fair bit to
timing of
organize.
the loops, your fueling. Yeah, that's gonna be my big challenge, I think, for like my river run. Was just getting my shit together enough to be organized enough to have my Jersey boat, having all my stuff there, having
Yeah,
enough and whatever. That's gonna be like one of my things. I think it's gonna be a challenge. It's
that's
like
definitely
just being
something
my.
I struggle with that. Like I bring everything, like probably too. not probably, too much of everything. But then I never, well, not never. So far, I haven't yet set myself up once I get there to have everything laid out just so that the stuff's right there at our fingertips. That's where I'm lacking. Like I have all the stuff, but uh, yeah, execution as far as like the display of it all. Um, yeah, and our tent's been cluttered. You know what I mean? We got lots of people in it, which is fantastic for the energy. But then it's like a kitchen sink, in there. It's just like an explosion. And then
You
I
know,
think,
the crew's got like 45 minutes to tidy it up and keep it
yeah,
tidy in between. Just gotta
but it's
keep
like,
them busy.
I brought like six of everything, like six long sleeves, six outers, six of at least everything. So I had so much gear and then all the million types of food. And then I forgot, of course, when I get there, I'm actually going to be buying like hot food. So with like mashed potatoes and soups and all. So I had like enough food. I don't think I need to buy any food literally for Blue Lake. Like that's how much extra stuff I have. And everything, including my tailwind. Like I overpacked. But then the day we got there, it was raining and then sunsets at like 5 and we didn't get there till like 3:30 or 4 or something. And so I was kind of over it. We went and did a practice loop, which was great. We walked it. But then I was like, I'll just set up in the morning. We're really, because I was like, will the stuff get damp in the tent overnight? And in hindsight, all my stuff was in plastic bags anyway. I probably should have just actually spent some time and set it up then, because in the morning there wasn't enough time. Yeah. Next backyard, I need to just be a little bit more organized and bring less, and then actually get it all in place. Like one of the things I've been thinking is I wanted an elastic strap because because you have a race bib and you're changing your pants. And so you have to take the bib off in those cold conditions, to put on your new
Oh yeah,
pants. Yeah, and I was like,
yeah.
"Oh man, if I only had an elastic strap." But oh, so silly. I had a race belt. Like I had a Fitletic race belt with me. That I completely forgot about. And had I actually organized my crap, I would have seen it. And then also, do you know how I was wearing plastic bags over my hands?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I realized when I unpacked amongst my like 7 pair of gloves, I had waterproof outers, like proper Montane waterproof outer mitts that I
Love
had brought, and I could have wore them instead of my plastic bags. But yeah, I completely
it.
forgot about that. So yeah, it's kind of
That's funny.
comical.
That is funny.
But it worked.
Love
The
it.
plastic
Love it.
bags were really effective. But yeah, so clearly I didn't utilize my gear properly.
Love it. So talk us through the sort of those last sort of few laps. There was, I think we were down to sort of 3 runners in the last sort of few laps. Talk us through those sort of those
Yeah.
last sort of periods.
So I think it was Sam, Nigel, Simon, and me. Um yeah, and the guys were looking really strong. Like there was times where they were coming in quicker earlier on, and then and then every now and then you have those doubts in your head. You're like, oh, they're looking stronger than me. And you're like just kind of debating in your mind how the whole thing's going to play out. Um, but then you're like, okay, just stay in it. It's fine. It doesn't matter who's coming in when. Just another lap. Just another lap. So yeah, I was actually super surprised when. Oh yeah, so Sam stopped first, but not he went. They all went far, and some of them I don't think had even done a backyard before. I don't think Sam had done a backyard. And Nigel, I didn't see Nigel stopping anytime soon, but he stopped, and then it was just Simon and I. Um, yeah, and then it was just the two of us. So yeah, we were just out there in the cold, and just do another lap.
Just
Yeah,
two people doing laps.
That's it, and there isn't really much conversation happening, you just
By
we
then, you're all talked out. You're pretty done. It's like
yeah,
Sunday afternoon, eh? And you get to
yeah,
300. It's Sunday
yeah, we kind
afternoon.
of like you'd kind of like do the first, grunt, 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 when you get off the start line, because
Yeah,
your body's cold after sit. I mean, nice that you could sit in your tent and warm up a little bit, but the body, it does seize up a little bit those few
yeah.
minutes in between. And so that first, I don't, I wouldn't say kilometer, maybe first kilometer, but certainly like the first few 100 meters are like you're just shuffling, just trying to get things warmed up. So back then it'd be the only time we'd just be like ugh, ugh, ugh. And then that was just it. And then yeah. And then once we kind of hit the gravel road, we just kind of hit our own paces, and that was kind of the
Yeah.
end of it. There wasn't
Do
much
your
like
own thing.
side by side chatter or anything. Um, yeah, didn't really, just kind of did our own things. Yeah.
Pretty much all talked out by then, eh?
Hmm. Definitely.
So then you came in, you're winning. You came running in. There was an actual a viral reel. I think that reel that I put, it was actually Sarah's recording, but I posted it on Facebook and Instagram a few days later. Last time I checked, it had like something like 25,000 views. Did you know that?
Oh, wow. That's wild.
It's crazy, and it's been
Oh my
shared quite a
God.
lot. It's quite amazing. That's
That's
viral in
too,
my books. That's viral in
yeah.
my books.
That's
And
viral. I say
yeah,
that's
yeah,
viral. Yeah, I agree.
we're taking it. We're taking it.
Yeah.
And yeah, just that was just a really special moment, I think. Um, yeah, just to see and Sarah capturing it is awesome. What was it like
All
for
right.
you?
Yeah,
Like,
she
it was
captured
an
the whole
emotional thing, eh?
thing.
Just like a wave of emotion that hit you.
Yeah, because like because we weren't running together, like we were saying, like you don't really know where people are in the course. And I was coming in pretty strong those last few laps, so I wasn't like there wasn't I wouldn't like see you don't see someone at your peripheral vision, and you're not going to turn around to look for somebody because that's not beneficial, right? You just always
Mm.
keep looking forward and march on. So I hadn't seen Simon for like the lap, but
Mm.
I was like, don't turn around, just keep running. And so when we first took off, a lot of the laps he'd been in front, and then this particular lap he didn't. We start together, but then I went in front, and
Mhm.
I was like, oh wow. But then I was like, is he stopping? But then I didn't hear the bell, and so I was like, I guess no, he's just coming still. I just there I'm just keep going, just keep going. So I didn't know that he stopped, and I'm still like, just get it done, get it done. And so it wasn't until I rounded the corner, like it wasn't even like someone, and I guess maybe they can't. It wasn't even like someone saw me at that. There was like one turn where there was a couple guys and they were dancing all through the night, like this corner. And it wasn't even like Sarah and Alex were there and Caro. It wasn't like then it was like the final stretch, like, I don't know, 100 feet, when they
Yeah,
said,
you were like
Michelle,
coming into the
guess what?
finish.
Yeah, it was literally like 40 seconds from the finish line. And I was like,
Yeah.
no way. So in my brain, I didn't process that like on the line. I think when I was running, I was more like an overwhelming emotion of like tears, like it was just
Yeah.
suddenly like it became like so real, and
It was
just
such a real moment to
far
watch.
out.
Yeah.
It was heavy, like it was really, and a good heavy. Like I'm one of those people. I wear my heart on my sleeve, so I cry when I'm sad, but I also cry when I'm happy. And so
Mm.
yeah, that was
That's
just a
cool.
big moment. I mean, that
Yeah,
was a big
man.
moment. It was a win. Oh, I still
Oh
get
my God.
emotional about it. A backyard win,
And
like
you,
in those
yeah.
conditions. That was wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. That's sort of what we, yeah, went down to do. That was our goal, eh? Go down and win. Pretty
Yeah.
amazing, eh?
Yeah.
Also
Yeah.
cool. It
I
was so
won.
cool having you running in, like you had your earphones on, eh? And they were like, "Hey, Michelle, guess what?" And you're like turning your earphone on. You're like, "What?"
Yes.
You won. And you're like, "What?" um,
Oh
yeah,
my gosh. Yeah, I'm still just buzzing about it. Um
that's
yeah.
so cool. Well, congratulations, eh? Like, once again. So awesome. Well
Thank
deserved,
you.
actually. Just well deserved.
Yeah.
You're just such an awesome human being, and your dedication to training and just the process and trusting the process, and always willing to try like different things, new things, adapt things. It's so well deserved, eh?
Yeah, thank you
So
so much.
congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
been a team effort, right? Like that's what the coaching journey is all about. So,
yeah,
you definitely don't get here alone. Like I get here with the help of, like the coaching that I've had and all the advice and the feedback and then the crew and the friends who support you. And like, it's not just a solo thing. It's not like, yeah, I did this. It's like we all did
yeah,
this.
yeah. It really is, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's so cool. And so, I guess we can touch a little bit on like some training things, eh? We were kind of talking about it a little bit
Yeah.
before we started recording. Like it was only a short build because you did mention we only did eight odd. It was an 8 week kind of a lead in. Really, you mentioned it was 8 weeks when we
Yeah.
sort of decided it, eh?
Yeah, it was originally like originally I thought like, oh, what do you think? Like do 100K at Hamner and we just make it a training run for Blue Lake. That was kind of the original when I signed up 8 weeks earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah. But then, yeah, we figured, let's just see how it
I mean,
goes.
8 weeks is plenty of time. 8 weeks is plenty
Plenty
of
of
time.
time. I got a pretty
Yeah,
good
yeah.
base, so yeah, so we went with that instead. And that's a good thing we did that.
Yeah, I remember us saying like yeah, let's have a crack at this, and
Hmm.
um, and then sort of Blue Lakes there in the background still, if
Yep.
whatever, because I remember the cold, because you were like, oh, I don't know about the cold, the cold, yeah,
Yeah.
and so we were kind of like, well, let's prepare for it, and and Blue Lake's still there, right? It could be a
Yeah.
stepping stone, if it's not it's not an all in kind of a thing.
Yeah, no, I like that. Like, why put all your eggs in one basket? And just because I was like fearful of the cold, like going with an open mind, maybe the body will perform better than I expect it to. Like maybe somehow it'll actually be a good situation, and not just a terrifying one. So, yeah, I'm just grateful for the whole thing.
Yeah, cool. And so we didn't do a lot of ridiculous long stuff, in your training.
No.
What was sort of different? I mean, your training's evolved, like in the last couple of years. Like what sort of like sort of themes that's have been different about this sort of last block that we did?
This last block for this backyard was different from the previous one at Riverhead because, well,
Which
then
was
I
2 years
figured,
ago.
yeah, didn't have the base I have now, so we did, and also maybe the knowledge as well, which gives you the confidence, right? Like, because you have to
Mm.
believe, like, that you can do something. So I think I wasn't very confident with a lot of night running back then. So I did
Oh
a lot
yeah.
of night runs, and also I wasn't confident about the whole timing of the loops. So I would often go out on like 8-hour runs in Riverhead, like, doing a loop an hour kind of
Mm.
thing, kind of
Mm.
practicing that. And then also I remember we did a lot of big, bigger runs. Like I remember doing kind of consistent, at the build, not like every Sunday, but like when you're peaking, six,
Mm.
8 hour, maybe a 10-hour day, or, I think once we did 3 3-hour sessions. Was it three
Yeah, a
three-hour
lot of
sessions?
missions, eh?
Yeah, like in one day. So very different. Whereas this build was things like basically just like 4-hour Sundays, like really doable. 4-hour Sundays, that was my longest run. And then we introduced tempo, a lot more tempo work this last block, which I think was really good to be able to get some speed up and still keep the heart rate down. And we continued because after my injury, remember I had to do a lot of aqua jogging and cycling, indoor cycling.
Mm.
So we continued on with the indoor cycling, a couple sessions a week, um, and then of course continuing on with the strength training. So the strength training stayed consistent, but the extra cycling has been new. Oh, and I added a weighted vest to my walks, some of my hilly walks, and my Stairmaster. Oh, right, we added Stairmaster. Um, yeah, but it
So
doesn't
many
seem
things.
like it was more. It doesn't seem like it was. It actually feels like maybe because the Sundays weren't as
Yes.
many hours, it almost feels like it was less. But I know it
Yeah.
didn't. But and
Way
I
more
guess
variation though, eh? Way more variation of and way more sessions per week total.
yeah,
But just way more variation of different disciplines,
which I think
different
works really well
stimulus.
for my body. At my age,
I
my
agree, yeah.
body, I think it yeah, that switching things up has been really good for me, allowing other things to recover and still staying diverse and strong. Um yeah, so that's been really good this block. I'm sure and we'll probably will keep that. And then I did some longer missions, like hikes and adventures
Fun
and stuff.
stuff with friends. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got to get
Yeah,
on the
because
bike.
you did a Ruapehu weekend somewhere along the line, like a you're going out hiking, and then you did the north south Kaimais. That was a little while back. When did you do north south
That was
Kaimais?
in May. In May, I
May,
ran.
yeah, that was a
We
little
did the
further
North
back.
South
Yeah,
track. Yeah, that was a 26-hour mission. So we did the whole track. Me and my friend Richie and my friend Graham. They invited me to join them starting at the Route 29 in Matamata, so at the southern
yeah,
end of the North South, and then we finished at the Karanaki River Gorge Tunnel. Yes, we started at 6 o'clock on a Friday night, and we finished at 9 o'clock on Saturday night. Like just going through, and same. It was kind of like being down at the backyard because it's winter-ish, like or
mm,
let's just say it's not summer, right? So it's pretty long
mm,
nights. And it was, I think, 4 degrees or 5 degrees that night. Like it was cold. And yeah, so that was kind of like a beefy situation to be put in. And I was kind of just fresh-ish out of my last injury. And so yeah, that was kind of a big ask of my body. And that terrain was so technical for so long. Like I hadn't been in that type of technical terrain for that period of time. Um, but man, was
so
I
good.
was with two really amazing humans, and I felt super safe, and I felt so grateful. I remember messaging you, I think almost with tears one day, or maybe we were even on the phone, and I was like so nervous, like I didn't want to blow their opportunity, and I was like doubting myself if I could do it. And then, but gosh, all these things, they just make you stronger and they make you grow, and you learn so much. And yeah, it was just amazing. But I do think those long times on your feet definitely help to build that body bank, for it just to remember getting through a night, and
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And that's kind of the story of the training of like it's like a lot of those like 3 4 hour things or like that's long but not super long,
Hmm.
and then sporadic missions thrown in like social fun expeditions thrown in every
Yeah,
couple of months or so it was yeah,
yeah, that's what
and
it's
that's
been
like
like. Yeah.
fills the soul too like it ticks like other boxes too. Like it sort of like fills you up, as well,
For me, it
in a
does.
different
It's
kind
like
of way.
this
Just
diet.
going out
Yeah.
into nature.
Yeah. It's really good to have that balance. Like, yeah, to
Yeah,
be able to
because
do
that's
those things with friends, and you get to go see amazing places and experience such cool things together. And wow, yeah, we're so lucky. And so if you can do that, and you're still getting your training in, and then you get to come back and do the other stuff, like it's just a
the
perfect
specific stuff.
balance.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I tell you, like, trail running, you know, ultras there is a lot of hiking involved. It's not like a bad thing. And so going away and doing like super long hikes or parts of really long hikes, like that it just adds to it.
mm.
Yeah. I think it
Yeah.
just
So, but I'm going to do a bit of that myself. Like start getting up into the hills a bit down here, and
mm.
down the Rimatakas and the Tararuas down here,
Oh,
um,
you're so
in the Hutt Valley
lucky.
region. And so, yeah, that's part of my goals was the coming Saturdays. is to
Yes.
yeah, start getting a bit of vert on the legs and going for a bit of adventures. Me and Shara have like adjusted our schedule, um, and so she does her training stuff. She's doing like shorter, faster stuff now, and
Hmm.
she's doing training stuff on a Sunday, and then so Saturday's my day for going for like little missions.
Oh, I love it. Mission Saturday. How good is
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Can't wait.
Oh,
And so it's just a yeah, it's going to be an awesome way to yeah get to know the area down here better, and just yeah,
totally. You get to
get
like
out
learn
into
the
nature.
area and then build the fitness. Well, where like when you get out into the forest or the bush or alpine or wherever, like you just feel like it's play. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I'm
yes,
okay, yes, it's work, but it doesn't feel like it's so work because it's just so
yeah,
beautiful and you just feel so grateful to get to witness it all. So like
yeah.
that's your backyard. Like wow, man.
Especially when it's like somewhere you don't go too often, eh? Like, and you go somewhere new or for the first time, or it's somewhere you don't go so often. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't feel taxing, does it?
Well, and with my goldfish memory, like to me, most places feel new even on the 10th time, you know? I'm still just as excited about it, when I've already been there before. So that's it's always
Yeah,
helpful to stay
like we've been
positive.
here before. Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
that's okay. But
Like
I like
in Riverhead
yeah.
every weekend. Yeah, this is like the first time, man.
Yeah. Look at that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much us, I think, eh?
I think so.
Yeah, nice one. Well, thank you very much, Michelle, for your time and the chat. And this is hopefully kicking my butt to yeah get back into the podcast again for the season. Now we're sort of coming into the season. Yeah,
Mm.
so thank you for joining me for this conversation and congratulations once again on your epic run at Hanmer Backyard
Thank
Ultra.
Thank you so much, and thank you for all of your advice and expertise and tips and believing in me, because like you got to have that support crew, and when you say something's possible, like then it really helps to take any doubt away. So I really I trust the process with you guys, and it's been a really good journey. So thank you so much for being such a big part of it.
Oh, good. On to the next one, eh? Exciting.
Yes, let's do it. Bring it. Sorry I can't join you at River Run, but man, go well. It's going to be such a good day down there. Well, day,
Oh yeah.
weekend, and then some. It's going to go long.
Long
Yeah,
weekend.
yeah. It's going to be awesome.
No, cool as.